quarter to
I said I
two.
really
I thought I saw Richard. Where is he?
I'm like,
Bun is wrong.
Mike, is Richard here? I thought he was here.
nobody's here.
So
You don't
there's
follow.
something.
His car or anything?
All right, it's a quarter to two. I want to get going. Making a joke.
Recording in progress.
I'd like to call the Wednesday, June 24th Town Board meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, okay. A short and sweet supervisor's report. This is a big week. Our summer busy season is about to start. The town, all of our departments are doing everything possible to get the town ready. I think we're there. And we're excited about a safe and good season for everyone that enjoys our town for this summer. With that, citizens' comments.
I have a letter
Okay.
from Chief Brendan Pavesi to Officer Matthew Nicoletti and Officer Anthony Vera. This letter is to inform you of our outstanding display of service to your community. On Monday, June 15, 2026, you were dispatched to an unknown problem on Russell Street in South Fallsburg. Both of you arrived on scene in less than 5 minutes. Upon arrival, you learned that a 40-year-old man was in cardiac arrest and not breathing. Your training kicked in and both of you began performing life-saving measures with one of you performing CPR and the other retrieving an AED from your patrol vehicle. While performing CPR and AED advised that a shock was initiated, jump-starting the victim's heart. A pulse was regained and the subject was transported to Garnett Hospital. I received a call from the fire chief and the paramedic who arrived on scene about your professionalism and life-saving measures. It is because of you that this subject has a second chance in life. I am happy to report that this subject walked out of the hospital on Tuesday night. You are commended for the outstanding job you performed. This letter will be placed in your personnel file and read before the town board. Thank you for your dedication to the police department and community you serve. I am proud to serve this community with both of you. Sincerely yours, Chief Brendan Pavesi. So, that's good news.
Thank you.
That's all for comments?
That's it
That's
for
pretty
me.
good.
I would like to make a comment. I didn't sign up, but I go by our beautiful golf course there, Terry Bar, at least 3 or 4 times a week. And the greens look beautiful. I'm seeing more and more of the golfers coming out, and a lot of them, I think, from the license plates that I see, they don't live here, they're coming from other places to play golf. The only thing I would suggest, because my wife is the one that always makes me make sure that my yard looks good. Some of the fences that face the road are in need of repair. They're just, you got a lot of nice looking stuff with the walls, the old stone walls, and then you got some fences that probably don't look as nice as they should. For people like me, I'm used to it, but for people out of town, I think it'll be good for the town to maybe think about making some improvements there. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jim.
Whenever you want.
Have you come up?
For the record, my name is Robert Kaplan. I live in Glenwild. You were going, I think on your agenda is?
I don't believe it. I don't believe that's until next week.
Okay, well, I can talk to you now anyway.
Okay.
You're going to be requested to make a zoning change on a property in Glenwild, which used to be my farm. It was purchased by the resident family who were great neighbors. And they are good neighbors. They presented to the planning board a plan to put in 3, in round numbers, 200,000 square foot warehouses on the back part of the property. Currently, the property is zoned agricultural. When Resnick bought the property, it was zoned industrial. Part of it was zoned industrial. And the town changed it after the last
2018.
2018 change
Yeah.
to agricultural. He cannot build the warehouses in agricultural, so he's asking for the zoning change for the entire property to go to industrial. The entire property was not in the industrial zone to begin with. So, you know, just so you have the information. I have a problem with the plan that he submitted to the planning board. Normally, you would say go to the planning board. If the town changes the zone, it will then go to the planning board, and the town will be subject to whatever the planning board determines. If the town doesn't change the zone, you still have control. When I looked at the plans for the warehouses, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with Glen Wild, you know the old Glen Wild Road compared to the Glen Wild Road. Glen Wild Road is a highly traveled county road, which is a designated highway where 53-foot trailers are allowed on the Glen Wild Road. The old Glen Wild Road is a horse and buggy trail. You can get 2 cars by, but you can have difficulty getting 2 trailers by. And that fact is, Nathan can speak from his own experience. Rachel passed a 53-foot trailer and he put her in the ditch. You know, this was years back.
Many years ago, yeah.
So, now according to the plans that are submitted, the main entrance to this project is going to be off the old Glen Wild Road. The project has 675 parking spaces for cars and 165 parking spaces for 53-foot trailers. No way in hell that's going to happen on the old Glen Wild Road. So what I would recommend to the board is that you speak to whoever you have to speak to. Tell them to redesign the project. You will not accept a project that has a highway off the old Glen Wild Road. Not for, you're talking, this is a massive project, massive number of trailers, 275 cars going each way all day and all night. Now, I have my personal interest that you know, I'm here to speak about. The warehouse closest to the old Glen Wild Road is 200 feet off the back of my sister-in-law's house, and probably 300 feet off the back of my house. I looked at the project myself, and I'm certainly not an engineer. Those buildings could all be moved down behind his existing project. You know, if he puts them down in the back and use the existing highways that he's got off of the Glen Wild Road. But the way it exists, and the end result is, if you change the zone and you leave it to the planning board, who's left with the headaches? Certainly not the planning board. You are, because it's not going to work. I'm really surprised an engineer would do that, you know, would design it that way, but what do I know? So what I'm asking is, you know, if it's on the agenda to change the zone, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, put it on the agenda for a public hearing. But I would tell the powers that be, take a good look at that project and change the design. Get the warehouses down behind the original project, which they have. They won't be visible from the Glenwild Road if he puts them behind the existing buildings. They won't be visible from the old Glenwild Road unless you look down my driveway or my sister-in-law's driveway. And the area will remain the open space and the beauty that it is. You have grounds to make the zoning change, and there are grounds not to make the zoning change. It's not like it's a black and white situation. It's really a decision that you have to make.
Question.
Yes.
If we decided to allow them to go back to the way the property was when the residents purchased it,
Yes.
would that allow them, which you know, seems to be fair because they purchased it, the town changed it,
I agree.
would they be able to build the warehouses in the spot that you're suggesting?
Yes.
They would.
Yeah, there's plenty of room here.
So the back part would
The
become.
back part, which is, first of all, the back part is down. These warehouses are gonna have probably 40-foot roofs. The back part is down, I think according to their maps, looks like there's a 30-foot drop in elevation from the old Glenwild Road to the back of that property. So from the old Glenwild Road, you'd probably see, or at least from my house, I'd probably see the tops of the roofs.
Okay.
But he wouldn't block out the trees, he wouldn't block out the mountains behind the trees.
Right.
He wouldn't block out my view of the Racino or the Resorts World. You know, I can see that from the
Are
backyard.
there warehouses going in across the street from you?
Those warehouses, they started over. So across the street from me,
Where-
through the front door of my house, 75 foot from the edge of the road, is going to be a 150,000 square foot warehouse.
And where is, out of curiosity, do we know where the entrance and exit for those warehouses?
Their plan was originally the old Glenwild Road. Their entrance is now off the Glenwild Road.
So,
Still need an emergency.
well, I don't think,
There is an emergency exit to the property on the old Glenwild Road. It's about 150 feet from the intersection.
which
So-
I don't think anybody would have an issue with a
I
second.
built that road, so no, I wouldn't have an
Okay.
issue with it. It wouldn't be safe, but I wouldn't have an issue with it. But
So-
at least, you know, at least nobody would get hurt. You wouldn't have, the cars would be coming in through his main entrance.
So for transparency, I obviously know Bobby and consider him a friend for a very long time. Bobby was on this board many years ago, was a councilman. I also, because of being local and having relationships, know the Resnick family and consider them friends.
Yeah.
I have approached them about considering to move the entrance and exit to the Glenwild Road, which they are completely willing to do if their engineers feel that that would work for them.
Well-
So I think there's room for compromise.
Listen, if they can change, now, again, I'm not an engineer.
Right.
If they can change the design to put the buildings behind the existing buildings, and that's fine with me.
Okay. So there is a public hearing set, I believe, for, is it next week?
Yeah.
Public-
But I wanted you to, there is a public
okay.
hearing, I believe. I'll
I
check.
think it's the
But
first.
Bobby's been upset about this and we've talked. I just wanted him
Yeah,
to,
because I went to the planning board, and the planning board, there's no input at the planning board for this, you know, because it wasn't a public hearing.
right,
The planning board recommended to this board to change the zone for all the property he has. Didn't even look at the project, didn't even look at the roads. They will look at that later on.
right.
But the problem is, by that time, you're stuck. Because either you go along with him, or he'll make you go along with him. This way, you can still control the zoning. If you don't change the zone, he can't build the project.
Right.
So at least, you know, that's why I brought it here.
I think certainly the buildings, I agree that if they're able to do that, it's better for everyone, you know. The road certainly is that's a reasonable compromise, that there shouldn't be that type of traffic going on Glenwild Road, because it is a narrow.
Yeah, it's not built for it.
Right. And they already have an entrance for their existing
Yes,
warehousing on Glenwell
And
Road,
then-
and their neighbor is gonna have it,
and they have that entrance as a secondary exit.
the one that you built, you're talking about.
No, well, the one that they're using now, the main entrance,
Yeah.
they have as a secondary. That should be the main entrance, and the road that I built, that's there, have to be widened a little bit, but they have the property to do it, should be the exit. Instead of having it down a couple of thousand feet down the old Glenwild Road, here it's 150 feet from the Glenwild Road.
Okay,
It'll be a lot safer.
okay. Well, thank you.
Okay, anything, any questions?
Any questions from anyone?
No.
No?
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Is that it? Anybody online, or that's it for citizens' comments?
You don't see a hand?
Nobody online.
Okay.
Okay.
So next, we have a department head update, which is, we're gonna start that again, and we have our assessor, Wendy.
So it's been a while. How's everybody?
Good. How you doing?
Alrighty. Alright, so. Okay, this goes from January to the date, to yesterday, I think, or the date. Come on, would you like to read along? Sure. You're welcome. Look at that. Hey, Arnold. Hello. Alright, so first thing, please always remember these numbers are fluid. They change all the time. So if we start up, so the first page is all the permits that we have. Permits, again, super fluid. These are in and out. So things close as we get new ones. I think I want to say maybe there are 3 gentlemen in the building department that create the permits. Every single permit goes to one person on my side, that would be Wesley. So right now, if you look at the open permits, currently 806 are open for the town of Fallsburg. That's gonna change tomorrow, because I'm sure there'll be some permits that close out, we're gonna get new permits, so all these numbers are fluid.
What constitutes a permit? What constitutes a permit?
So they're gonna do a permit application, once the application's
For?
approved, for anything. So we're talking decks, additions, new homes, demos, land clearing, everything. So a permit is everything, we get every single one. What ends up happening once we get them is Dallas, my part-time clerk, she's gonna go through them, she's gonna determine which ones give assessed value, which ones don't. Every single one gets inputted into RPS, in their spaces. Then they all go to Wesley, now they're all gonna get, we're gonna pull files, we go to the building department, pull the actual application, any plans, anything that's gonna help us determine what's there, and then it will begin from there. Then Wesley goes out, he has to actually see every single permit that's there for any type of addition, new building, condos, he has to actually visit every single unit. He has to visit everything, because he has to get a percentage of completion, that's how we do our assessments. And then as of March 1st of 2027, we'll do a big sweep at the end of February, especially the condos, to see where everybody is. And pull that, because it is a very big undertaking for just one person to do. And that's basically what the permits are. So what you see here, and if you see, he also breaks them up. Solar panels, roofs, renovations, decks. So he does a pretty good job of keeping track. We also take care of the Village of Woodridge, so we get those permits directly from the village. So we have a relationship with them, they get them to us, we have to do the same thing, we have to go there and get plans and exactly what we would do with the town, we actually have to go to the village and do it by hand. The Village of Ataris right now has nothing going on for us in the town of Fallsburg right now, they're concentrating all in the town of Thompson at the moment. I assume that'll change as things go on. So right now, this is just the Village of Woodridge numbers that you see here. Ataris is
So
not
you're
included.
saying we're a big help to the Village of Woodridge?
Village of Woodridge?
I just wanna make sure the mayor's in the back here.
Mayor? Yes, we are a big help. The mayor and I have spoken several times about, getting our permits and doing what we have to do. So that's the first page. So the next, of course, we're gonna go to our current development projects. You guys can read through it, I'm not gonna go through them. These are projects that are in development. Some of them do say 100% complete. Now that we're done with our 2026 roll, July 1st, it's final. We're gonna open up for our 2027. The ones that are 100% complete will disappear, and we'll just keep the ones that are now active. So you'll see a couple in there that are 100%. The only thing that's gonna ever get added to those is if decks are done, finished basements, things like that, and those are just regular permits done. So you guys can go through that at your leisure. And also on the next page, we do have how we do our percentage of completion. You'll see the percentages there, 15% for foundation, so on and so forth. So you understand how that's broken up. The upcoming development projects, if you remember, a lot of these are gonna, are from 2 years going. There's a lot that are still in planning. Village of Woodridge has some that now look like they're finally gonna take off, that have been on the pending list for a little bit. And again, status updates, that's everything that we have up to this point. Whether it's clearing, still in planning, some things there's no updates. So that's just all the information that's there. Now, where we are now. So January was tax billing season, all done. We're done with that. Anything that wasn't paid is now all at county level. So pretty much done with that. March 1st was our taxable status deadline, so everyone needs to understand that it is the status of the parcel as of March 1st, 2026. That is the assessment. So the assessment actually goes backward. A lot of people have that question, they don't understand. We had a terrible fire over on Tunnel Hill over there, over on Gray. That parcel will still be assessed what it is, because it's as of March 1st, 2026. So your assessment is March 2nd, 2025 to March 1st, 2026. That is what the assessed value is based on, and that is what the September school tax bill will be, and the January 2027. So that's something that a lot of people don't understand, but that is how it works. It's New York State, it is not the town of Fallsburg. It is real property tax law. So we have that. So now, we went through our grievance. Grievance was the 4th Tuesday in May. So that's all done, and now we are in our final roll period. I just submitted the roll, and we are now going to be final as of July 1st with the assessment roll. That assessment roll creates the school tax bills for 4 school districts: Fallsburg, Liberty, Monticello, Tri-Valley. It creates the tax bills for the Village of Woodridge and the Village of Ataris, and then our January bill. So that our assessment roll will take care of all of that. So that's next. Okay, so the next thing is our deed count. So from January 1st to January 23rd, 430 deeds. That's what we have. Our deeds are not slowing down, and the prices are not leveling yet. As of yet. We're kind of hoping that they'll level out soon, but as of yet, they're not leveling out. We did have a very good year this year, and there's no way I could have done it alone without Paulette, Wesley, and Dallas. Absolutely no way. We were a very small staff for a very large assessment role. And that is that. Any questions?
Do you have an idea of what our assessed value increase is for this year?
Well, so we had grievance. Grievance was kind of tough because we did have Vacation Village that we finally went through, but so as the total town with the village is probably in the 20+ million AV. Yeah.
That's with everything that came off.
That's with everything coming off.
What was that number, what was that number before? How much came off?
Probably about 21.6. We actually put 34 million on, but once you take out like parent parcels, because a lot of it's condo, so once parent parcels come off, everything comes off, then it shrinks down. It doesn't negate the amount of work that was done to put 34 million on. It just, once we take parent parcels off and everything, it does come off. Nonprofits weren't too bad this year.
Wasn't it Raleigh the biggest
But
one?
that was last year. That was for the roll last year. Yeah. So that, this year it really wasn't too bad. Everything pretty much stayed pretty, there's a couple, but nothing big. But yeah, the AV definitely was quite a big one this year.
Good news.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Good, all right.
Yeah, very good. Appreciate your hard work.
Thank you.
All right, on to our agenda. Item 1, motion to approve town board minutes dated 6/3/26. Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Item 2, motion to approve town board minutes dated 6/17/26. Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 3, motion to approve a yearly stipend of $1,750 for Steve Burke to become the chief of the court officer duties.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Item 4, motion to introduce a local law number 4 of 2026, amending the zoning map of the town of Fallsburg to change the zoning designation of SBL 17-1-30.1 and 17-1-31 from HR to business zone and setting a public hearing for 7/15/26 at 6 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 5, motion to approve a peddler hawker solicitor permit application.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Last item, item 6, is a resolution number 50 of 2026 of the town of Fallsburg to engage Delaware Engineering, DPC, for a town of Fallsburg wastewater feasibility study with cost to be shared among the town of Fallsburg, Davos Valley LLC, and Congregation Mazza.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I don't believe we have anything for executive session. Our attorney is not here tonight, so
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
What time is it?
Oh, we do.
Hang on.
Change of plans. Wendy has an issue for executive session, so we get a motion to go.
So, I think we have to,
Motion to rescind.
okay, thank you.
Second that.
All in favor? Okay.
Motion to go into executive session. Motion.
For the second?
Good job, you guys.
All in favor? Unless Michael Bennett has something to
Mike,
say.
have
for us.
something?
I was just subbing for Rich.
Oh,
I really
Hi,
was. I
Michael.
just was in court.
Bye, Michael.
Hi,
it's always
Rich.
great to see you.
I had a 45-minute window to wait, so I figured I'd come see how the real board
Always a
works.
pleasure.
How the real board works.
And I don't imagine we're gonna come back next